Hi.
Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
President of Netherlands.
Very good. Very nice campus, yeah. For an engineering, this looks very beautiful campus. Oh, so many drones. Amazing. Hi, I'm Akash Gupta. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Zypp Electric.
Zypp today is the largest EV as a service platform.
I don't know how many of you would know because you don't see green scooters out here in Hyderabad. But frankly, Hyderabad is going to be our next city to launch. We are in Delhi NCR, Bangalore and Mumbai. We're running a fleet of 20,000 electric vehicles on the road, right? Almost the largest fleet, EV fleet run by any company. So that's what we are. And yes, we would love to seek your help and your mind when we launch Hyderabad very soon. You need to have a very strong why. The why solves a lot of things in life. Whatever you end up doing, whether it's becoming a software engineer, whether it's building a startup, whether it's becoming a creator, or writing a book, or doing whatever, one thing that just binds everything together is your why. Why has to come from deep within. Because a startup journey is a long journey. A lot of us think that we want to build a startup because it's a buzzword, because it's an access to fame. We see so many stories coming out in the newspapers to say that, hey, this guy has done this guy has become what, there's so many people become millionaires, billionaires, whatever. All of that is true. But the core thing that one needs to know is that startup journey is a long journey. Sometimes we start something and then after 5 days we think, no, we don't want to do that, right? We start a movie sometimes. After half an hour we say, no, we don't like it, right? We meet a girl. After 2 months we feel, no, it's not working out, right? But which is why it's very important that the startup journey has to be well thought out, because it will be a success only when, one, your why is very strong. One, I saw that this problem of pollution and climate change is really very big. I want to be that champion who wants to solve this issue of pollution, and that excites me. The idea is that pain exists every day in everything that we do. All we need to say is that if no one else is solving it, can I pick that problem and start solving it? You sometimes need to figure out your own problem. Sometimes you might find your friend's problem. Sometimes you look at someone that he's stuck. I want to solve his problem, and then extend the base. Find a pain point which excites you for the next 10 years. Because a lot of people think that, hey, it'll be 1 year, 2 years, I'll build this, we'll figure out. No. 10 years is a minimum journey of building a startup. The way that I have seen is first 3 years, a lot of people fail. A lot of startups shut down. First 3 years. So that's a chasm of death. If you've crossed 3 years, 5 years is a milestone where you are ready that, hey, startup is built, now I can scale it. 5 years, you get a feeling that now I can scale it because something is working right in the business, right? 7 years is the point where this really now will become a success. But I would want to give a caveat, even in these cases, every time a startup can still fail. But 7 years, the efficacy of success, the percentage of success is much bigger for it to compound. So compounding starts after 7 years. And that happens after you spend the hard work of the first 7 years. That's the time when compounding begins in a business. And 10 years is typically the time when you actually hit the IPO landmark, you hit a scale landmark, right? So that's the journey of building any business. So get into that. So as simple as that, yeah, problems are everywhere. You need to start finding it when you're going out for shopping, right? Like today, someone came to my office yesterday and pitched that, hey, when I go to a Myntra and I want to search my product, it's a very tough search. I am going to find, let's say, this kind of a loose pocket pant, and I'm not able to find. Today, AI, if you put into it and you say that, hey, a black 4-pocket loose non-denim pant, it should come with 5 suggestions exactly like that, because AI is now to that level where it can do image recognition, right? I don't think that Myntra will exist if you or anyone is able to build that kind of a shopping framework. Now, the second thing that we typically do, and I did a lot before starting this, this is an important step, is to get that validation. Now, a lot of people think that if I have got an idea, then if I'll share that idea, then someone else will start building it. ऐसा कितना वो लगता है? How many people feel that idea, if I'll share, then the idea is gone? You feel that? Yeah? A few of you feel that? See, I think I also used to think that if I'll share my idea with someone, वो बना लेगा, right? But it does not happen like that, right? Ideas are dime a dozen. It's only in the execution. Do you think that everyone will be so much connected to the same idea? No. If you want to solve something in healthcare, he would want to solve something in AI, the other guy would want to solve something in mobility. It's not, everyone's mind is wired very differently. The most important point is share. Share the ideas with others. You will get a feedback, and that will improve your own thinking of that idea. If I share that idea with someone, it's not that someone is running ahead with it. And even if someone runs ahead and launches a product, it's not a problem. Because it's not necessarily that they will be successful at it. It's your passion and your hard work that will make you success. Because sometimes as a founder, we think that we are always right. We are never right. Our vision is right. Our direction might be right, but we need to continuously hear people around us to get clarity on our vision also, right? Which is why teams come in, which is why, these kind of problems come in. And this exercise of validation, research has to be done very sacrosanct. PMF means product market fit, right? What is PMF? Product market fit is when your unit economics start making sense. Your product is getting that acceptance. It's not success yet. So PMF is when, your product is now accepted by the customers. Customers are referring that, hey, you're telling him that, hey, I like this product organically, without any marketing push. A lot of us as founders think that हमने एक business ठीक ठाक बना लिया, थोड़ा traction आ गया, we will quickly replicate, we will launch 5 product lines, we will launch 2 new markets. Big mistakes. Don't do that, right? Focus is one thing that we've learned as a business. A lot of people tell me that you are doing EV rentals. Why don't you start making scooters? Why don't you start making batteries? Why don't you start launching a Rapido kind of a service? A lot of people tell me, but no. If I do that, I will fail, I know that. I just want to hammer one thing right. So right that nobody else can replicate that. That's when you're building a business right. Knowledge only comes to you when you try to access it. You do not have to be shy as a founder. You have to be open in getting no's. You will get a lot of no's. I would have at least 200 VCs who had said no to me. At least in a week, I get 5 no's, even now. But that does not mean that I stop. I have to find only one yes. 200 no's, that's okay. Maybe the 300th one will be a yes. I'll continue. And I'll continue to improve my pitch in every session with every learning, right? That is the only reason that we survive. Try to find initial co-founders. A lot of us fail in doing that, but try to find people whom you can trust, plus those who have a different mindset than yours when it comes to business. Because if you are good at marketing and your friend is also good at marketing, that's not the great team. If you're good at marketing, your friend could be good at finance. Your friend could be good at technology, right? Could be good at operations. Those are the right people to build the partnerships with, right? Startup is not a fancy office in the corner with a glass house where the coffee will come every day on your desk. Sorry, it's not gonna be, right? You got to pick the dirt yourself. You got to go on ground yourself. You got to speak to your customers yourself. It's not the team who should tell you. Founder role is so important that you need to be the first-hand discovery of your product, of the customer feedback. Team को नहीं पता कुछ भी, आपको पता होना चाहिए. Then only you will be able to be better than the team. The day you start thinking that I am the corner office guy and the team will tell me everything, sorry, you're not a startup anymore. Founder वो होता है who has the grit and determination to fail every day and rise up every day. That is the founder. The only one thing that I used to tell everyone, that if someone else can do this job better than me, I will ensure that I will be better because of my heart. Try करके देख. And that's how you have to have your attitude in your college. That's the attitude that you have to have in your job. And that's the attitude that you have to have in your startup. And that's the attitude that you need to have in your life. Okay? Thank you. I hope it helped you. Done. Any questions?
So my question is, like you were saying, you got your pain point so that the flauntable.com.
Let's flaunt.
Let's flaunt. Okay.
Yeah.
So you were not ready to take up, give your job full time for that, but you gave it for this one. So yeah, even I would feel like in a day-to-day life, I would also get some thoughts, some problem statement. I would be like, okay, this can be a good one to solve. But like, what is that thing that actually made you connected to your problem statement?
It's very personal to everyone. So for me, I wanted to build a business which one can really become very big. So the problem had to be very, very big. And when I saw that the petrol vehicles will have to move to a sustainable solution, whether it's electric, whether it's hydrogen, whether it's sodium ion, I don't know, but they have to go to a sustainable mean, which is a long journey. So that's one thing that I said, that it will be a long journey, but it will be a large journey because of shift of so many vehicles which are of petrol, and the conversion to EV will be fun. So that one tick box happened for me. The second thing, if I'll be able to do it, the kind of impact that I'll be able to bring to the world, when everyone talks about pollution, climate change, this and that, I will be then known to be a person who solved this problem. And these are the only two tick boxes that I wanted in my life. That's when the 8 years feel like, 8 days, frankly. Because it felt like it just passed away. So pata hi nahi lagta, when you're so connected to your vision and passion, you don't feel like there's time in the middle. You're just liking to solve it. I'm waiting for tomorrow every day. Right? That आज का तो दिन हो गया, कल वापस करते हैं, कल कुछ नया solve करेंगे.
Hi Santosh, one question here. What did you feel right and connect about it? Is it the research or what?
When you have an idea, a lot of people start talking about it. But in today's day and age, we are living with the reels and Instagram so much that we feel that everything we will remember, right? It's a scroll away, right? So, but when you're talking about your business, your idea, you need to start writing. You need to start putting it on a deck. When I got my idea, I started creating the pitch deck on the same day. We need to start writing, because when you write, you correct the nuances of it. You get into the double clicking.
When you were in your heart and when you were launching, so you had many companies along with you launching the same product.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty much sure that you would have received a question from your investors saying, there are already these many companies, why you wanna get started with this? So that might have come with you.
True.
So how did you handle that situation? What was your answer to the investors?
Correct. See, I think one thing which happens, that when you see a lot of competition, one thing is you might get scared that, hey, there's so much competition. But the other thing that happens, your idea gets validation. Now you don't have to sell to investors that this is the problem that I was solving, and maybe sometimes the investor will think that it's not required, why are you solving this problem? But with competition, the investor would say, problem to exist karti hai. That is why there are 5 companies solving the same problem. Now the question is, that how I want to say that while there are 5 companies, why I will be best at it. Now there, I need to put my arsenal that, hey, while there are 5 companies, for the 2 Chinese companies, I told them that they might have a lot of cash, but they are still burning in every market that they are on. In India, they have zero knowledge. You need to talk about your strengths, whatever the stage of it, which then you can compare with whatever is existing, and that has to sound better and act better, and you'll get your journey.